Hello guys, before we start, some of you might have heard me in a few videos before. My brother and I started this channel back in 2012 and we have always been working on it together. I mostly handle stuff behind the scenes, but from now, I'll be doing more voiceovers. Not every video, but yeah, more often. Alright, so I got to play Assassin's Creed Shadows for 6 hours at a preview event. Already made a video sharing my thoughts on it, so if you want to check that out, it's up on the channel. Before playing, I asked you guys on YouTube and X to send in your questions, and in this video, I'm answering them. Some were repeats, some I don't have enough info on yet, so if yours isn't here, that's why. Okay, first question. What are your thoughts on the stealth? Generally speaking, for me, it was the best part of the game. I had the most fun doing it. Is parkour parkouring? Yeah, kinda. I mean, pretty much, but not fully. How will double assassinations work? Is it restricted to only air assassinations, or can it be running or low profile? Yeah, so double assassinations aren't just like limited to air assassinations. I tried them both from the air and on the ground. So yeah, it works either way. Is the parkour really that different between both characters? Yeah, it is. When I was playing, I spent like a lot of time doing parkour with both. Yasuke can parkour, but he's just too slow. Like really slow. And he can't climb everything now he can. Curious about photo mode, levels of environmental damage, new gear system, new shadow stealth system, NPC interactions. Yeah, so photo mode is in the game. I saw a tutorial pop up for it when I first opened the pause menu. But in the preview build I played, it wasn't actually usable. Levels of environmental damage, more things are destructible than before. But not everything. Though when I was playing as Naue, I felt like some objects were breaking way too easily. Which, yeah, I didn't really like. Gear system? So yeah, each character can equip a primary weapon, a secondary weapon, headgear, armor, and one accessory. New shadow stealth system. So hiding in shadows worked both day and night, but during the day enemies spotted me much faster. So using shadows felt extra useful then. NPC interactions? Didn't really have any. NPCs were mostly just there, filling the world. But enemies did react to what I was doing, like when I was parkouring or breaking objects. One even told me to put my weapon away when I was just like standing there with it, and I got an option to either comply or refuse. I'd love to know how the tone is. Ubisoft Quebec usually has this light-hearted tone, whereas Montreal tends to go with a darker, more serious tone for their games. Is the tone more dark and serious, or is it similar to Quebec's other games with a more light-hearted tone where it doesn't take itself as seriously? From what I played, like in the prologue at least, the tone felt serious, emotional, kinda epic. But that's just the prologue, so yeah. I mean, I haven't played enough past that to really say how the rest of the game actually feels. How does Canon mode work? So I played both Canon mode and normal mode. The only real difference is that Canon mode removes dialogue options. Other than that, it's the exact same. Can you equip two weapons at the same time as Naue? Yeah, she can carry two, switch between them, same as Yasuke. But Yasuke got this extra thing where he can swap weapons mid-combo. If you mean dual wielding, like actually holding two weapons at once, nah, that's not in the game. But if you equip Naue with the Tanto, he will use it together with the Hidden Blade automatically. How is the combat brutality in AC Shadows compared to Valhalla? I'd say the combat in Shadows feels a bit less brutal than Valhalla, mainly cause there's no constant dismemberment, but there's still plenty of blood. Like when you hit enemies or take hits yourself, blood sprays out and it stays on the ground too. And if you take a few hits, your character gets all covered in blood. So in that way, it still feels brutal. But yeah, unlike Valhalla, dismemberment doesn't happen in regular combat. In my playthrough, dismemberment only happened when I was playing as Yasuke and only during finishers or brutal assassinations, never during regular combat. Honestly, I kinda liked that, cause it made those moves feel special. Like when it did happen, it actually felt like it had more impact. If there is anything story related, are you able to share anything that doesn't directly spoil the story? Yes, so I really liked the prologue a lot. Once I finished it, I just wanted to see where the story goes next. It really had me hooked, made me care. And the music, that just made it even better. There was this one scene where the soundtrack was just like really good. I can't wait to see that again and for you guys to see it too. But yeah, aside from that, I didn't get much story time, so can't say much beyond the prologue. Is there a toggle hood button like Syndicate or Valhalla? Or is it closer to Origins and Odyssey, where you can hide it in a menu? Nope, didn't see any option to toggle the hood. How does the character change work and look? Yeah, so you have to go to the pause menu to swap. No in-game transition or anything. It just loads and the other character shows up where the first one was. It's very basic, nothing really special. Felt like not much effort went into it. How does parkour feel compared to Mirage and the previous RPG entries? So compared to the RPG games, it's much better. But if you compare it to Mirage, it's like some things feel better. Now is speed, the smoother animations, and like stuff like parkour down, back eject, sprint dodge. But then some things just don't. Like you can't do side or back ejects to gain height. And the parkour routes I tried didn't feel as good as Mirage's, but also I didn't get to try it in a big city. So maybe it's different there. Is the grab an ability? Yeah, so grab is a passive skill. It's available from the start. I could already use it during the prologue. And yeah, plus it's upgradable in the skills menu. Is there a manual jump button? No, there isn't. Do weather and seasonal changes make a significant difference in how you play? So I played most of the time in spring. So yeah, I didn't really get to see how much they changed things. It did rain a bit while I was playing, but I was just free roaming. So I don't know, I didn't really get to see if it actually changed gameplay. Will helmets, hoods and masks be visible during a cutscene? No. No, they aren't visible in cutscenes. What's your favorite detail? So as Naoe, being able to hide inside a chest, then coming out to assassinate an enemy and put them back in. And then as Yasuke, realizing that when he walks on a rope, it actually breaks. Like that's kinda cool. How does the double assassination work? Yeah, so I did it a few times. The double assassination thing only showed up when two enemies were like really close to each other. And yeah, now I had to have a Tanto equipped for it to work. Is there an enemies environment or just a regular loading screen like the Precursor Odyssey? Yeah, there's an enemies environment in the loading screen. I actually managed to record like a longer bit of it for you guys. So here it is. So I haven't played any of the new RPG games. I've only played AC2 Rogue. How easily would I adjust to the different and possibly more RPG style gameplay mechanics? I intend to buy AC Shadows when it releases, but I'm really nervous about it being too RPG like and less like the older games. Nah, you don't really gotta worry too much about the RPG stuff. Just pick whatever weapons and armor you find, use the best ones and unlock skills that seem useful. If you don't want to deal with the dialogue choices, there's a Canon mode for that. And if you want the hidden blade to work like before, yeah, there's a setting for one-hit kills. Some other options in the menu lets you change a few things too, so you can kinda make it play a bit more how you want. Will there be minigames in Shadows like in Assassin's Creed Valhalla? For example, Valhalla had fishing and Orlog. Will Shadows have minigames? I don't think I saw any, so I'm not sure. Is the parkour as complex as Unity's? No, it isn't. Do Shadows actually make a difference? Yeah, they do, both during the day and at night. Is the story engaging? Yeah, so the prologue was really engaging, like I actually can't wait to play it again. But then the main quest I played after that, not so much. Is the combat a bit more interesting than Valhalla's? Yeah, I'd say so. It's more fun and has more depth. So enemies now have two bars, one for armor, one for health. So you gotta break the armor first before you can really hurt him. Combat as Naoe and Yasuke felt really different too. There's new stuff, posture attacks fit in well, and there's a lot of combos that just feel fun to do. Fighting enemies also felt better. They got these flurry attacks, and when you parry or deflect them, it just feels really good. Overall, I'd say it's more fun than Valhalla. Is the eagle still in the game? No, there's no eagle companion in the game. Is the AI during stealth sections more reactive than before? For the most part, yeah. Enemies did spot me from far away and one time even when I was crawling under a house. But there were also few moments when I thought they'd see me but they just didn't. Is the enemy behavior more thought out? For example, in Shinobi, a PS2 game, enemies would carry bodies they found to a specific place instead of just walking over their dead friends. Not really, I didn't notice anything like that, but I mean it's hard to say for sure without playing more. Is Naoe's gameplay better than the other characters? For me, Naoe's gameplay felt better. Cause I like stealth and parkour more. Her combat was good too, but I think I liked Yasuke's combat more. I'd like to ask if both characters feel just as viable in any given situation, and if both characters feel just as fleshed out gameplay wise. Okay, so now I felt good for parkour and stealth, and like good enough for combat. And Yasuke, he was really good at combat, but not so much at the other stuff. But he had certain mechanics like unique to him. So overall, I'd say I liked playing as both at different times, just cause yeah, they felt really different. Is the running animation cool or weird? Running looked normal, like nothing weird about it. But when Naoe runs on rooftops, that looks pretty cool. Is parkour A just climbing, B okay, or C good? Between okay and good, from what I played. Is the map repetitive or fun to explore? I mean, I didn't get to explore a lot, but yeah, from what I did, it didn't feel repetitive. Is the map huge? Yeah, to me, it felt huge. Is stealth and combat good? Stealth is very good. Combat is good. Is there a day and night cycle? Yeah, there is. Are the parkour jumps like Valhalla or Mirage? Are ejects consistent? And do drops feel heavy like in the RPG games? I'd say the parkour jumps were better than both. Back ejects were easy to do, felt good, but side ejects, yeah, they were pretty inconsistent. And drops with Naoe, they felt like really light and quick, not heavy like the RPG games. Can you compare Shadows to Mirage? I only played AC Mirage for 1 hour. Intel gave me an AC Shadows redeem code, and I have no idea about the other AC games. Yeah, so Mirage was like a smaller game, more focused on stealth, parkour, small open world, shorter playtime. But Shadows, it's a big RPG, lot bigger, longer, and it's got combat, stealth, parkour, all in focus. So if you liked Mirage, there's a good chance you will like Shadows too. At least the main missions, I would say. How does movement feel? It looks great, but is it as flexible and smooth as Origins, or as heavy, janky as Valhalla? Yeah, it felt quick and good overall, not heavy or janky like Valhalla. Are the in-game facial animations good? Better than previous games? Yeah, for the reoccurring ones, sure, they look good, but the rest, not really. My one question is if there are a lot of different outfits like in Odyssey, where you are just drowning in them from random chests, or if there are smaller planned outfits. So while playing, I came across some chests with uncommon armor and headgear, plus a vendor selling small pieces too. So from that, yeah, looks like there are a lot of different outfits in the game. Is it different enough from Ghost of Tsushima, or how similar is it? Yeah, I think it's different enough. Like, okay, the Japan setting is common, but the time period, the world, the way the game plays, the story, it's all different. I played Ghost of Tsushima when it launched, and after playing Shadows, I'd say stealth and parkour are better in Shadows. Combat though, Ghost does it better. Shadows has more enemy types, better weather, seasons, weapons, but Ghost's open world has better art direction. And horse riding? Yeah, Ghost does that better too. Do the cutscenes actually look good, or is it more like Valhalla? Yeah, so the cutscenes in the prologue looked great. I really liked the direction, the character expression, and the way the music was used. As for the cutscenes in the main quest I played, they were good for the major characters, but the ones with side characters, yeah, not so much. Overall though, they looked much better than what we have seen in recent AC RPGs. Can Yasuke use 2 ranged weapons? No, Yasuke can't equip 2 ranged weapons. I tried, but the game just doesn't allow it. How is the feeling of not having the eagle anymore? Yeah, I didn't really miss it. I mean, the observe and scout system felt better to use. Do we have a lot of loot with many stats on weapons, or was that reduced? I mean, I only played in one region, so kinda hard to say for sure. But from what I saw, yeah, seems like there's gonna be lots of loot with different stats. Are there any wild animals like in Origins, Odyssey or Valhalla? There are. I saw deer, rabbits, raccoon dogs, but no hostile ones like wolves. And also, you can't hurt animals in the game. I tried. Do you like samurai, shinobi, or both? I like both, but if I had to pick, yeah, Shinobi a bit more. Tell us if we will have comeback of the engravings from Odyssey with Yasuke. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are there. I saw an option for engravings in the menu for both Naoe and Yasuke. Does it feel repetitive and overwhelming? I mean, I don't know. Can't say yet since I didn't get to play enough. Will there be level gating? Never was a fan of that in Odyssey. So I'd say no, but I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Do you recommend it to a new player? Yeah, I'd say go for it. I didn't really notice anything that would make it less enjoyable for someone new. I wanna know how many combat animations and skills are there. Lots. Naoe and Yasuke each have their own combat animations, and every weapon they use has different ones too. They also got a lot of skills. Naoe got skills for all her weapons, tools, plus shinobi and assassin skills, while Yasuke got skills for his weapons and samurai skills. Overall, there are a lot of combat animations and skills in the game. How does season change work? On the map screen, you will see a season icon with a gauge around it. It starts at 0 at the beginning of a season and fills up over time. And once it's full, you can switch seasons by pressing right on the D-pad. Or if you change characters when it's full, the season just changes automatically. Amount of mocap animations. The prologue cutscenes looked motion captured, but the ones in the main quest I played didn't really seem like they were. How does the spy system work? So, when you do a quest, the game doesn't just tell you exactly where to go. You get clues and you gotta figure it out yourself. But if you don't wanna do all that, you can just open the map and send a scout to search the area. You can even use more than one to cover a bigger space. But scouts are limited. They only replenish in the next season. So yeah, you gotta manage them properly. But it's completely optional. You don't have to use scouts if you don't want to. What's your overall impression after playing the demo? I think it's really good. But yeah, not a 10 on 10 for me. I played for 6 hours and I really liked the main gameplay. But some small things felt off, like character switching, the way cutscenes transition into gameplay, and NPC behavior in the open world. I want to know about the grappling hook. Can it be used more creatively other than just a simple Spider-Man swing? Like in Syndicate, the rope launcher could do things like targeted jumps, force free falls, break falls, etc. And does the level design support these well? Yeah. I used the grappling hook a lot, and yeah, I liked it a lot too. Other than climbing and swinging, I did stuff like grappling hook assassinations, launching it mid-air after back eject, and free falls. The way the world is made, using the hook just felt right and good. How useful is the parkour? Yeah, so parkour was actually really useful during stealth, or for quick escapes. There was this tall castle with multiple entry points at different heights, and using parkour just made it much easier to climb up or get back down quickly. Does the game feel clunky in certain areas? Are the skill trees great? Does it feel smooth playing and not like Jedi Survivor? It was an older version, but the game still ran really well. Skill trees looked, well put together. Not overwhelming or anything, but still had a good amount of depth. How does it look? Feels, and is it worth it to buy, or is Ubisoft cooked? I got hopes, but I really wanna hear your opinion. Yeah, it looks good, feels good from what I've played so far. But honestly, I haven't played enough to say if it's worth it or not yet. But for me, as someone who enjoys Assassin's Creed, I did like what I played. All these questions are asking about modern day content in the game. Yeah, there's modern day stuff in the game. I saw it, but I can't talk about it. What I can tell you is, it was a scene, not gameplay. And it did make me want to see more. And no, Pasim's not in the game. That's all guys. Thanks for watching.